Good day, folks. My name is Sean, and this is Air Photography. Today we're going to be taking a look at the DJI Mini 2 and talk about why I think it's the perfect travel drone. Now, realistically, any of the DJI Mavic series drones do make excellent travel drones because they're all pretty compact and can fold up. But the DJI Mini 2 does have some specific features that make it ideal for travel. No matter whether you're going to be traveling internationally or just locally, maybe perhaps doing some camping, hiking, or backpacking, the DJI Mini 2 is a great choice for both beginners and experienced pilots. So let's just jump right in and take a closer look. So the DJI Mini 2 has been available for a couple months now, and I must say it's really impressed me both with its features and its capabilities. It really is an impressive drone for both its size and the price. If you're brand new to drones and you're just looking for your first drone, or perhaps you want a secondary drone for travel, this drone is definitely a good option for both scenarios. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, all the DJI Mavic series drones are excellent for travel just because they're all, for the most part, fairly compact and they can fold up nice and small. But the DJI Mini 2 does have some specific features that does give it the edge over some of the other Mavic drones. So reason number one why I think this is the ultimate travel drone is just the sheer size. You can see here how small and compact it is. When you compare it to something like the Mavic 2 Pro, you can see there is quite a size difference. And that can be very important depending on how and where you're traveling. You may have limited packing space and you want something as small as possible, especially if you're going to be doing any kind of hiking or backpacking or whatever destination you head to and you're just going to be doing some sightseeing. Definitely you don't want to be lugging around a heavy drone. The DJI Mini 2 is quite a bit lighter than the Mavic 2 Pro and even the Mavic Air 2. Now my next point here is probably one of the most important reasons why I say this is the best drone for travel, and that is due to its weight of 249 grams. That 249 grams is the magic number in many different countries. A lot of people buy this drone when they're flying it locally just because they don't want to have to register it, and in places like Canada here you don't have to get a pilot certificate. For other people, that's not an issue. They've already got their Part 107, or in Canada, they have a pilot certificate. But whether you're certified or not, that 249 grams can be very important when traveling. Now, I'm going to use Canada as an example here. Say you're a tourist from the US and you're going to be traveling to Canada and you want to fly a drone. Your only realistic option is to fly a sub 250 gram drone. And the reason being is, again, to fly a drone in Canada, it has to be registered with Transport Canada. On top of that, you have to have a pilot certificate. For the most part, those options are only available to Canadian citizens. Now, there are different waivers you can apply for, but they're time consuming and they can be very expensive. So if you're just coming over for a few days to do some sightseeing and you want to bring a drone, your only option is to fly a sub 250 gram drone, such as the DJI Mini 2. Now, that was an example here in Canada, but that 250 gram rule applies to many different countries as well. So when you look at it from that aspect, that's what makes the DJI Mini 2 stand out from something like the Mavic Air 2 or even the DJI Mavic 2 Pro. Now the next reason is its capability. There are really no other competitors on the market that can offer this much quality for the price and for the weight. DJI has set the bar really high when it comes to sub 250 gram drones. I don't think we're going to see anything that even comes close. The original Mavic Mini did have some limitations. It only recorded in a max resolution of 2.7K and the range on it was not very good. It still used a Wi-Fi connection. With the introduction of the DJI Mini 2, DJI added 4K video recording. They've upped the bitrate so the quality is quite a bit better, and they added OcuSync 2.0 so you're going to have a good solid connection and a lot of range. On top of that, they've added more powerful motors. So if you are traveling, especially along coastal areas where you do get significant amounts of wind, the DJI Mini is going to be able to handle most of it. So with 4K recording, OcuSync, new powerful motors, this thing can pretty well go head to head with some of DJI's higher end drones. Now another reason why I think the DJI Mini 2 is the ultimate travel drone is its low cost. You can pick up a base package for around the $400 mark, and that can be very important for travel, especially when traveling internationally. Every country has different rules on drones, and sometimes it's not very clear when you're doing your research if drones are allowed, what the different rules and regulations are. You may arrive at some location to find out drones aren't allowed or you haven't met the requirements, and they may end up confiscating your drone, and definitely will hurt your wallet quite a bit less to have a $400 drone confiscated compared to the Mavic 2 Pro, which is $1,400. On top of that, you have to worry about things like theft. If you're backpacking or hiking, you have to worry about environmental damage. Damaging a lower cost item is definitely not as painful, like I said, like a higher end drone. So just due to the low cost, I do believe it makes it an excellent travel drone. Now the next reason why I believe the DJI Mini 2 is an excellent travel drone, and that's due to the size and weight of the batteries. This here is a battery for the DJI Mini 2, And if you compare it to something like a battery for the Mavic 2 Pro, you can see there is quite a size difference. Size and weight of your batteries can be very important when traveling because you may have limited space for packing. And again, as mentioned, if you're a hiker or backpack, every ounce counts. So with the DJI Mini 2, you can load up with quite a few batteries and not add too much weight to your luggage or backpack. And then when you factor in that you can get 31 minutes of flight time per battery, now that's what it's rated as. You're not going to get exactly 31 minutes, but you're going to get an ample amount of flying time. And again, that can be important because say you're traveling to somewhere off grid, you don't have traditional power to recharge. You could bring along 8 batteries with you and keep yourself in the air for quite a bit of time, again without adding a lot of bulk and weight to your luggage. Now my next point here kind of continues on with the batteries and how you charge the drone. This here is the charging brick and the charging cable for the DJI Mini 2, and as you can see, it doesn't take up a lot of space. Now on top of that, if you're an Android user or perhaps you have an iPad that has a USB-C port on it, you can use this charging brick and this cable to charge up those devices. That saves you having to bring extra cabling and chargers along with you, again saving you space in your luggage. If you have an iPhone, you can just plug a lightning cable into there and it will charge your iPhone with no problems as well. Now again, if you compare the charging equipment for the DJI Mini 2 compared to the Mavic 2 Pro, you can see there is quite a bit of difference in size again. So minimal charging equipment again makes the DJI Mini 2 an excellent choice for travel. Now another reason why this is an excellent choice for travel is the fact that you can recharge the batteries with a power bank. You can see here I have a RAV Power power bank, and I can plug the USB-C cable into the back of the DJI Mini 2. And as you can see there, it's now charging. So again, if you're at a location that does not have traditional power, you can still keep your batteries charged up and still keep yourself in the air. Now another reason that makes the DJI Mini 2 perfect for travel is how quiet it is. The DJI Mini 2 is probably the quietest drone that DJI sells, and that can be important when you're traveling and you're flying around certain locations. You have to remember that not everybody loves our passion and joy when it comes to flying drones and capturing content. A lot of people still get weirded out when there's a drone flying around. They think you're spying on them, they think they're going to get hurt. So when you're traveling and you're at different tourist spots and you want to capture some content, putting a drone like the DJI Mini 2 up in the air, a lot of people aren't even going to know that you're flying. When you're on holidays, you don't want the stress of people coming up and complaining about your drone. So being a nice quiet drone definitely gives the DJI Mini 2 the advantage when it comes to travel. Now my last reason here why I think the DJI Mini 2 is the perfect drone for travel, and that is it's the first drone to offer compatibility with 3 different satellite networks. Previous DJI drones were only compatible with GPS and GLONASS, but the DJI Mini 2 also offers compatibility with the Galileo satellite system. So that's going to give you faster and more reliable GPS coverage, and that can come in handy in different parts of the world. You know you're always going to have good satellite connectivity. So those are just some of my reasons why I think the DJI Mini 2 is the ultimate travel drone. It's a perfect drone for international travel, local travel, if you're just going to be doing some hiking or backpacking. You're going to have a fully capable drone with a ton of features, good quality 4K video, and good connectivity. Well folks, that's basically it for my video. I'd like to hear your opinion down below, what you think of the DJI Mini 2 and if you think it's a great travel drone. If I've missed any points on why it makes it a good travel drone, make sure you leave them down in the comments. I want to thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and got some value out of it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.